Hey, welcome to the channel. My name is Eric, and today we're going to talk about the best way you can run your business if you want to run it long term. And the biggest thing I want to get across to you guys is learning to play well in the sandbox. And you're saying, now what the hell are you talking about, Eric? I'm talking about taking what you would consider to be your competitors and making them friends. And why would you want to do that, Eric? You know, you're competing with them. But I'm not. See, that's a lot of business courses will teach you how to outdo the competitors. You got to do it bigger, better, stronger, and all these things when the actual truth is sitting right in front of you that wouldn't it be a lot nicer world if the people that you called your competitors, you turned them into friends and you all work together? And I'm not talking about working together to put screws to anybody, not even close. If a business in our area that is doing the same thing I am, if they are screwing their customers, I am not saying go become friends with them, because I won't become friends with them. But if they're treating their customers good and they're just working just like I am, why not make them friends? But the biggest thing to forming an alliance, sort of say friendships, is you have to bring something to the table too. You know, if you're just getting into the business and these guys have been in it for 15, 20 years, you're probably thinking, what do I have to offer? And it could be that these guys are a little older, they're not as tech savvy as you are, and maybe you can help them out on that end. There's always things that you can offer to other people to make it kind of equal footing. And if I was just starting out and these guys have been in it for 15, 20 years, I'll be honest with you, I'm not going to say squat, and I'm going to listen, because they're going to tell me how to keep a business going long term instead of short term. So what are ways that are good for becoming friends with each other? And one that I find, if we're swapped here, okay, I'm not afraid to tell one of my customers to go to one of my friends' shops if they're having a slow period and get them in, get them out. I'm not. Because I've had in the past 20 plus years have the other shops hit their overflow, and they're saying, if you want it done in a decent amount of time, go see Eric. Because they realize that Eric is running slow this year. That he's not seeing the number of customers we are. Maybe because I don't like doing warranty work, and they do, okay? So they would rather have the warranty work. I would rather not. So kind of a deal that I have with them, and it's not a deal. It's a friendship. Of, look, I'm going to send you everybody that comes through my door that wants warranty work, because I don't even want to deal with the frickin' stuff, right? But those guys thrive on it. They're doing it every day. They've got a system in place. Whereas they don't want to deal with the customer that's actually paying customer and wants their equipment service. So I'm going to get their overflow of the customers that they normally wouldn't want to take on. And they're not afraid to say, go see Eric. He'll get you in, get you out, and he'll do a good job. Any more than if you came to me and I'd be saying, go see Joe, because he's doing warranty work every day, and he could probably do more for you than I could when it comes to warranty. You see what I'm saying? You work amongst each other. And the more time they've had at it compared to you, the more you should be listening to how they got that far. But in the same token, they need to be listening to you if you're young getting into the business, because you're more tech savvy, you're more web savvy, you're more, Facebook and social media and all that than they probably are. You always have something to offer. In the beginning, you may not all be on equal footing, but in the end, I guarantee you will. So just the overflow of shipping it to one of my so-called competitors, I do that quite a bit, and they do it for me and I greatly appreciate it. And by doing that, by sending a customer to another shop, that's building trust amongst us to say, I value their friendship enough that I will send one of my customers over to them. And I may have a regular that comes here and they just went out and they bought a new mower and they think it's warranty, which I don't. But Joe or Bill that are doing warranty all the time in floor planning can slide that through under warranty quicker and easier than I can. So by referring your customers over, that's building trust between the three of you, okay? If that makes any sense. The other positive thing about it is that you can swap knowledge and you can swap tools. You can't have every tool in the toolbox. There's so many specialty tools out there, it goes crazy, right? And the other thing is, there's going to be jobs that you do that you've never seen before and you're not sure how to go about it. I can pick up the phone or I can hop in the vehicle and take it right over and talk with either one of them and say, this is what's on my plate. What do you think? Have you seen this before? And if they've seen this before, they'll be the first ones to tell me and how they did a workaround to get the job done. You know, in the past years that we've been here with our friends, our competitors, our friends, is more than once we've had a mechanic from our shop go to theirs to show them how to do something that they haven't seen before. And vice versa. They've sent people over here. And, you know, my claim to fame basically was online parts. So I was warehousing. So one of the things that I was able to do for those guys that are my friends is they were waiting sometimes 1 to 2 weeks to get parts from their distributor. But I was bringing in enough parts, buying and selling, that I was at the warehouse level. So most of the time, when they would call and say, Eric, do you happen to have this part in stock so that we can get a job done and get paid? Hold on a minute, let me check real quick. And I would come back with, I've got 5 or 6 of them. How many do you need? I only need 1. Send your guy over and I'll send it back with you. And I would also give them warehousing price, which was cheaper than what they were getting it from through their own distributor. There's always things that you can do, even when you feel like you don't have much to offer. There is stuff you can offer to help each other out. And again, that builds trust. That you're willing to help those guys out so they can get stuff in and out and not be sitting waiting for parts to show up. And then the tools. If there's a certain tool that we don't have, I can get on the phone, and if any of those guys have got that tool, they'll say, come on over and grab it and then bring it back when you're done. No questions, no nothing, just come get it. That's valuable. But that's what happens when you have friends. Friends want to help each other out, okay? If you make enemies of them, they're not going to want to help you, and they're probably going to trash you to other people. All depends upon how business sense they are. I can tell you from experience, you will never get ahead by putting somebody else down. Don't tell me how this one is worse than you are. Tell me why yours that much better. And while you're telling me that, don't even comment about somebody else. It's what makes you better. You see what I'm saying? If you start undercutting your competitors instead of making them friends, it will get you nowhere. Some guys will tell you in business school and stuff that sometimes the best thing is sales and it's being the best price. And I can tell you with the experience that I have, most of my customers don't come to me because of price. They don't. They come to me because they trust me and they want quality work in the shortest amount of time and have a carefree summer after we've done their mower every spring. They're not asking me about my hourly rate. They're not asking me about how much parts cost. They're asking me when can I come get it, and then let them know when it's done and how much they owe. But just like my friends that are running other shops where I built that trust up, I've also built that same trust relationship with every customer that I have. I'm an open book, and the thing is I will always be honest with my customers and my friends. And that goes a long ways. People respect that. They respect that you're honest enough to do the right thing. Okay? Burning bridges, like trashing your competitors, never gets you anywhere. It may be a short-term win, but the long term, you're not going to make it. Because they're going to turn into enemies because you're trashing them. And they will trash you. Both of them will get together and come at you. Me, I'd rather raise everybody up together and all of us move ahead than just me. I value my friendship, my relationship with my friends. And so should you. If you have any questions, put it in the comment. Maybe I'll get some blowback on this of guys that don't feel that being friends with a competitor works. I know it works. Maybe it's how you're going about it. Maybe you're not giving it an honest effort. But you're never going to know until you try. I'm not going to say the first time you go over to your so-called competitor and try to be friends with them that they're going to be friendly. They're not. They're not going to trust you. Why should they trust you? Have you given them any reason to trust you? Or have you made offhand remarks that have gotten back to them, and that will kill a friendship quicker than anything, right? If you got somebody out there talking bad about you, how willing are you to be and continue to be their friend? Friends don't do that to friends. So on that note, you guys have a great day.